Item 10E, adopt a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a construction contract with Casey Construction for the Trenton Sewer Replacement Project in the amount of $1,313,242, approving a contingency of $265,000, and approving a total construction budget in the amount of $1,878,242.
Thank you. The Trenton sewer pipelines were constructed back in the 1950s, and they collect sewage from neighborhoods in the Upper Crestmore area, north and south of San Bruno Avenue. And between 2007 through 2010, sewer main located within the easement behind the homes of the south side of Trenton Drive experienced multiple sanitary sewer overflows. Four out of the 8 SSOs were more serious, where over 1,000 gallons were spilled and unrecovered. These pipelines are also inundated with roots, which require constant and extensive maintenance. And also the location of these sewer alignments created difficulties for maintenance crews to access. And since these existing mains run between the homes and also behind the houses in an area of steep terrain and heavy eucalyptus and vegetation growth. So in order to prevent future sanitary sewer overflows, the sewer pipelines will need to be rehabbed or replaced. And back in November 2012, the City Council awarded an engineering design contract to West Yost to evaluate 6 different replacement alternatives that considered access and maintenance issues. Detailed information for each alternative is included in the staff report. Staff and design engineer evaluated replacement alternatives such as installing pipe lining, pipe bursting, rerouting of sewer laterals from behind the houses to the front of the house with new sewer main, pipeline in Trenton, and even looked at installing new pumping unit at each house. The alternatives were also evaluated to determine the impacts to residents and their properties during construction. Council concurred with staff recommendations to proceed with one of the alternatives, which was alternative number 5, which you can see on the slide here. And this alternative shows the proposed improvements that include a combination of pipe lining and pipe bursting. Within this alternative, these segments are indicated to be pipe bursted, and then as well as over here as well. And then there's some CIPP in this area and here between the houses. So however, during the initial design phase, additional site reconnaissance were performed. In order to construct a pipeline, the construction access would require removal of approximately 50 trees along the alignment, and these trees within the alignment are eucalyptus trees that are about 4 feet in diameter, some of them, and they range from like 80 to 90 feet in height. In addition, several habitats of dusky-footed wood rat exist within the wooded area. Although it's not currently listed as an endangered species by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife, it's legally protected by the California Department of Fish and Game as a species of concern. Both the removal of the trees and the wood rats would have significant environmental impacts on the project and could possibly require an additional initial study or environmental impact report for the CEQA process, which would further delay the project. Therefore, additional alignment evaluation was performed to determine an alternative that minimized tree removal and eliminated the impacts to the wood rats. The new alternative was derived, which is shown in on the slide here, to eliminate the use of pipe bursting construction and install cure-in-place pipeline instead. So initially, as you saw in the previous slide, there were pipe bursting along this area. Currently, right now, it's proposed to be CIPP. Instead, and the CIPP current place liner that's installed within the existing pipeline from manhole to manhole without the need to do any excavation. The sewer laterals will also be restored and using remote control robotic cutting device that are launched into the pipeline. This construction alternative eliminated the need to remove the trees and avoided any disturbance to the wood rat habitats. With this new alternative, the project can also meet categorical exemption under CEQA. In order to seek the bids, the project was advertised again twice in early May and also posted on the city's website. And a pre-bid meeting was held on May 23rd and attended by 4 contractors. On the day of the bid opening, staff received 4 bids ranging from $1.3 to $2.1 million. And the lowest bid was submitted by Casey Construction, who has successfully completed numerous sewer projects and water main projects for public agencies in the Bay Area. And Casey Construction also completed projects in the Glenview neighborhood, water phase 1 project, as well as the SFPUC pressure regulator project for the city. As for the fiscal impact, it's the 2016-17 capital in the CIP project funded through the wastewater fund included $2.8 million for this project. During final design, with the removal of access road and then the tree removal from the scope, it resulted in lower construction costs. That's saving about $950,000 from the budget. And then this is the amount that is being transferred to the Genevieve fund. And staff is also requesting a 20% contingency on this project due to the steep terrain and the easement area. Similar to the Genevieve project, there will be impacts to the residents during construction. There will be some equipment noise and dust from construction activities. And San Bruno Avenue will likely be narrowed to one lane of traffic to allow for pipeline construction. Staff will work with the contractor to minimize these impacts, and a community meeting will also be held sometime in August. This concludes our presentation, and we'll be happy to answer any questions. If you want to look at what the dusky-footed wood rat looks like, I do have a picture of that if you're interested in how their nest looks like.
Any questions? Ken?
Well, I think we need to apply for some environmental award for staff and this, saving all those trees and those rats. I can't believe this is back in 2012 where you showed us, and I know that area, and it's not flat. And, you know, all those pipes that you were thinking of doing, it was a challenge. And I think, yeah, this is a great alternative to what it could have been, because I didn't know what you were gonna come up with after that first presentation a few years ago. So that's all I gotta say. It's a good solution.
Great. Irene?
Yeah.
I just want to know what your timeline is. How long do they think that the construction is going to take, and when do they expect to start?
Construction is estimated 150 calendar days. So assuming that the project's being approved today, we anticipate construction will start sometime in early September timeframe.
Okay. And you're going to do the community meeting in August. Will you be giving people, and I forgot to ask at the other construction project we just talked about too, will you be giving people who are affected a number to call and get a real live person? Or at least during work hours?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Thank you.
Anyone else? Any action by the council?
Okay, I'll introduce the resolution.
Councilmember O'Connell.
Aye.
Councilmember Rico Medina.
Aye.
Councilmember Ibarra.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Marlene Medina.
Aye.
Mayor Ruane.
Aye.